So I wanted to talk about two different things that they are unrelated, but that's kind of what I've got and what I'll offer to you all. The first thing I did want to mention is to talk a little bit about the ancestral line in terms of Shasta Abbey and what that means and kind of where we are with that and kind of our way of doing things, because I don't know. We recite the ancestral line and we assume that it's one person to the next person to the next person, which that is the ideal anyway. And that's what we base our ancestral tradition on, is that person to person transmission. And that being said, our ancestral line here at the Abbey, well, first of all, the definition of it in Zen is eternal life is the unbroken line of teachers from the 7 Buddhas of the past. So that's goes way back, and we do. I think of that in terms of what our ancestral line means to me. We recite it every single morning, the whole of it, and it means that there is a connectiveness all the way back to the 7 Buddhas of the past, Shakyamuni, and it's very supportive, and it's really, we belong to this family, and I find that that's a really good thing for me in my daily life. I like reaching back into the far past like that. For our situation here at the Abbey, we have, when we recite the ancestral line, the last name is Reverend Master Jiyu. And we didn't always do that because what we've done, our tradition is that when she was alive, the last person in the ancestral line would have been Kato Chisan. But then once Reverend Master Jiyu died, then that's when we added her name on to the ancestral line, which we recite every day, with including Reverend Master Jiyu. So that kind of leaves us with, well, who's next? And one thing that Reverend Master Jiyu did was she decided, instead of having focusing on one person being the next ancestor, she gave, let's see how to say this, the monks that are masters all are Dharma heirs. So I don't know how many masters we have in the order, but it's quite a few. I think out of, when we voted, we had 68 people, and I wouldn't be surprised if more than half of that group are masters. And what that means is every one of us can we are Dharma heirs, and we can carry on the ancestral line, each and every one of us. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that, for instance, at Throstle, when Reverend Master Daishin Morgan dies, then he will no doubt be added on to the line with Reverend Master Jiyu. And we have kind of a branching out that's going to happen. And we don't have any idea who the next person is going to be at the Abbey. It isn't really something we spend a lot of time on. It's just something that will occur. And quite frankly, it'll be left up to the next generation to sort that out. Because here, even at the Abbey, we have Reverend Master Daishin, and who else is there here? Reverend Oswin, and Reverend Master Mayan, of course, all have disciples, which means that they also could be part of the ancestral line tradition. The point is, here's something else that has happened that I found out about today, is that the ancestral line, oftentimes people will recite it. Like we had a monk here, was in another tradition, and he recited our ancestral line up to a point, and then beyond that he would recite his own ancestral line. And that is kind of what we would be doing if we branched out and went into other different branches of ancestral lines. So how's that for confusion? But it's not a clear-cut thing, and it isn't really something that we have given a lot of thought to, but I just thought to kind of give you a heads up of what that means for the Abbey and how we're, it's on our minds, but it's important, but we're all just doing our training and it'll be okay. Somebody, our ancestral tradition will continue. There's no doubt in my mind about that, but who is going to be and who's all that, I have no idea, but it is the next generation, no doubt will sort that out. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. The other topic I wanted to talk about was, okay, let's see here. This is going to be a shifting of gears here because I wanted to mention the ancestral line. This is about, let's see here. Well, it's taking the ancestral line and kind of bringing it home in terms of my own experience. And so I'm going to just carry on here and then we can have a discussion. So let's see here. So I came here as a monk and, took on the practice, did lay ordination and then monk ordination, transmission, and then was named a senior and then a master. And so this has been the normal progression of what we do here at the Abbey and for the monks of the OBC order. So the thing that I wanted to bring to mind was when I first came here, I came here for a reason because I was not happy. I needed some help and I really didn't know how to do it effectively. I knew about Band-Aid approaches, but it just didn't seem to be enough. So I came here and Reverend Master Jiyu I came here in 79, but then I became a monk in 87. And I came here and was alive, or I was with Reverend Master Jiyu when she was alive and had a chance to be ordained by her and was one of the last people to be transmitted by her. Reverend Scholastica was the very last person before she died or was too sick to carry on with the transmission. But what I found with her is there was something, I can't say that I was really attracted to her personality, but there was something about her that caught my attention and I paid attention to that. And it was something to do, I couldn't articulate it. This was a young monk, not knowing what I was looking for really, but I just said, she has something and I don't know what it is, but I want to find out about it. And that's what I kind of kept to that because I kept seeing this person she had diabetes and she was getting sicker and sicker, couldn't walk. And I don't know if you remember this, Reverend Vivian, but she had meetings with us where she would talk. She would say, well, I'm a talking head. That was kind of all she could do was talk. She was wheelchair bound because of the diabetes. But there was always this, not even a thread, but just this bigger than life presence. And that's what I could articulate it to be, but I couldn't relate. I didn't know what to do with it. How do you kind of explore that? But I was determined to do that. And I'm not going to have any grand answers here, but I just made that part of my life and my, not my goal, but my focus of what does she know that I don't know? And I just kept working through that again and again. And I came across a quote here that just was perfect. It's out of the Roar One, and these are Reverend Master Jiyu's words in the book. The kindness of the eternal is unlimited. Think of the incredible love and longing for we as sparks want to return to it. Think of that love. We want to return to it. It is willing to appear in whatever form will not be offensive so as to be most embracing at the time of death. it's exquisite. And something just struck me in that verse those words that I said, yes, yes, yes. And what I can say from my own life is I don't know about love. That's still too loaded of a word in a worldly sense. But I can say that over time, I have learned to trust the Dharma and open to it. And when I get into difficult situations, and this is how I've learned, in other words, I'm not just reading the words and working through it in my brain, but I'm trying to understand what that means for myself. And I challenge the Dharma when I get in really tough situations, and I say, well, where is the Dharma here? And over again, if I just sit still and not engage with the usual stuff that goes on in my brain, the negativity, this and that, trying to conceptualize things, just to be open to it, things seem to be okay. And I know that over and over again, and I've learned to trust that. I have faith in it, and I'm learning to use that as a pathway. I have no idea if that is, I do feel like I'm beginning to understand Reverend Master Jiyu a little bit in that light, but I can't say, I don't know what to say about that, except it's wonderful. Oh, I think that's enough for now. It's it is exquisite. It is wonderful, and it's available to us. And how do we do that? Well, we all have to find our way. We're all unique, and the thing I love about the Dharma, it is so big. All of us can find our way in all our uniqueness, and we will find it, because that's how big the Dharma is. So, given that, that's what I have to offer.